Hello, everyone. My name is Bryan Sechrist. I'm one of the engineering teachers here at Huff High School, where I teach the Introduction to Engineering Design class. I wanted to give you guys a little bit of background about myself, as well as about the Project Lead the Way pathway, as well as some specific details about my class, Introduction to Engineering Design. So a little bit about myself. I graduated from North Carolina State University. Go Pack! I spent the first 17 years of my career in the aviation and defense industry, working on commercial and military aircraft. My first job out of college was with Delta Technical Operations Group, which is part of Delta Airlines, located in Atlanta, Georgia. While I was at Delta, I primarily worked on systems, aircraft systems, such as hydraulics, fuel systems, pressurization, air conditioning. Um, the last part of my career at Delta Airlines, I spent a lot of time focused on cabin interiors, where we spec'd out new seats, new galleys, new lavatories, sidewalls, overhead bins, basically everything that you see and touch on the inside of the airplane, including in-flight entertainment, Wi-Fi, etc. That was all part of the group that I worked for. After I left Delta Airlines, I went to work for a small company called Felfab. Felfab is based out of Hamilton, Ontario. They were a unique company, small, like I said, small company, where they made seat cushions and covers and carpets and insulation blankets for the aircraft or for the airline and even the railroad industry. Um, the thing that I always say that Felfab was interesting is because they did some other things that were kind of in a smaller market. They made clothing and backpacks for the military, including bulletproof vests. They also made insulation panels that went on the International Space Station. So it was a very small company, but we worked on a lot of different industries. Um, I was fortunate enough while I was at Felfab to use my technical background in many different roles, from engineering to quality assurance to technical sales. After I left Felfab, I went to a company called Timco Aerosystems, which is located in Greensboro, North Carolina, where I was global director of sales and marketing, eventually vice president of sales and marketing. Timco Aerosystems was actually acquired by HAECO, which is the Hong Kong Aircraft Engineering Company, located in Hong Kong. Um, while I was at HAECO, my job functions were basically working with airline customers all over the world, developing work scope, projects, um, taking that information, developing costing spreadsheets, negotiating uh, basically a deal, and then executing a contract with our legal department. So in this role, it was pretty much focused on the sales and marketing side, as well as the finance side. So I have a little bit of experience both in the engineering world as well as the business side. Um, and that's kind of my 17 years that I spent in the aviation industry. Um, I have been teaching now for 7 years. Uh, all my time has been here at Huff High School, and I have taught Introduction to Engineering Design for the last 7 years. Um, so I wanted to tell you a little bit about Introduction to Engineering Design. It is part of the Project Lead the Way series of classes that are offered here at Huff High School. We do have an engineering pathway, and we do encourage Huff students to take three to four classes within that pathway, typically starting with their freshman or sophomore years, and typically starting with my class, Introduction to Engineering Design. There's a lot of information about Project Lead the Way, specifically about the programs that they offer on their website. It's located at pltw.org. and you can come down and look at the engineering pathway. There's a ton of information that you can look at, and I highly encourage you to take a few minutes to go and explore this website and see everything that is offered. So Project Lead the Way's goal is to provide a transformative learning experience for kindergarten through 12th grade students. Their goal is to create an engaging, hands-on classroom environment and empower students to develop in-demand knowledge and skills that they will need that will be transferable to the work industry. My goal as a Project Lead the Way instructor is to give students a chance to explore, create, and problem solve both independently and in a collaborative group setting. I always tell students that I am not the sage on the stage. I'm more of a guide on the side, which basically means I let students work through problems and develop solutions on their own with a little guidance here and there. The big thing for me in this class is it's all about problem solving. So there's a few things that students are going to learn in this class. First thing we talk really about is the design process and how to use a certain set of steps with action items to develop solutions to problems that are in a conscious and meaningful way to produce consistent results. That's a lot of what engineering is. We're going to teach students some basics of drafting. They'll learn how to hand sketch, isometric perspective. They'll learn a lot about using construction lines, and they'll do a lot of drafting. And in general, we're trying to teach students how to visualize things in 3 dimensions. You'd be surprised, but that is a hard skill for a lot of people to be able to see the 3rd dimension. Students are also going to learn the basics and some advanced features of 3D modeling using 3D CAD software, such as AutoCAD Inventor, AutoCAD Fusion 360, Onshape, SolidWorks, Tinkercad. The number of programs that are out there today, there's just a bunch of them. We'll pick 1 or 2, but once they learn the basics of one, they should be able to apply that knowledge to use any of the 3D CAD modeling software that's out there in the industry. Students will learn how to create, sort, and analyze data and use statistical analysis. We are going to teach them a lot of statistics: mean, median, mode, standard deviation. We're going to learn how to analyze data to determine quality. Students are going to learn how to create engineering drawing package. We're going to teach them how to put a title page on. We're going to teach them how to put a title block in the corners. We're going to teach them how to put drawing numbers on, parts list. They're going to be a competent engineer be able to create drawing packages. And finally, we're going to teach them how to document a project through the use of an engineering notebook. And then finally, we're going to teach them a little bit of basic statics and dynamics, how to develop free body diagrams, and determine forces acting on a body at rest and in motion. This is going to set them up for the next class, which is Principles of Engineering. That's the next class in the engineering pathway here at Huff, where they do learn a lot of the information that you would typically get your freshman or maybe your first semester sophomore year in college. So they get exposure to statics and dynamics while they are here at Huff. So parents ask me all the time, what does my child need to do, or how are they going to be successful in my class? So my response typically is that they need to have a solid foundation of math, specifically when it comes to fractions and geometry. And we're going to do a lot of things about parallel lines and perpendicular and defining angles and coincident. And, there's all kinds of things that they're going to use as they are drafting to help them produce quality designs. In addition, being able to visualize objects in 3 dimensions. and paying attention to the details. I tell students all the time that the details are really what matters when it comes to engineering. We have to give as much detail to support the project. Um, the big thing for me is students need to come with a can-do attitude. Um, that's the biggest thing. If they come with that attitude every day that, hey, I can come in here and I can do this, that is probably the most important thing. If they can persevere and keep trying, uh, they can do it. Um, I always say this. I have this poster on my wall in my classroom. It says, "It's not failure because I haven't given up yet." And so that's kind of our mantra for the class. Um, Kids are going to fail. It's going to be, times CAD's going to, it's going to be difficult. And I just keep saying, keep trying, hit the undo button, try something different, right? Learn how to figure out problems. And that is the core of this class. Um, so there's only a couple things that students really need to have for class. The first thing that they really need to have is a quad ruled bound notebook. And this basically is just a composition book with graph paper inside of it. They're about $3 at Staples. There are some fancier ones that you could buy that are $10, $12. Not really all that important, but we do need a bound notebook that has graph paper inside of it. In addition, students are going to need blue pens. We do sign everything that we do to provide authenticity. And then I also recommend that they bring mechanical pencils as opposed to the wooden pencils, just because when we start sketching and shading and stuff like that, having to go to the pencil sharpener every 5 minutes is kind of painful. So other than that, everything else we provide. We have a lot of great things. There will be some information about the 3D CAD program that we will be using, whether it's going to be uh, on computers here at school or on their Chromebooks. But that will be communicated as soon as we kind of get started in class. Um, but that's basically it. I'm really looking forward to this year, meeting you all at some point. Hopefully this first quarter, and hopefully COVID won't play a significant role in this school year. But if it does, of course, we adjust and adapt. And just wanted to say thank you for watching my video. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me through the school, and I will answer anything I can. Thank you.